Hello friends, today we're going to go through a look at the Rode Wireless Pro versus the DJI Mic 2. Oh, this is a video that I've been building for a while. I have been going to different locations. I've been all over the place with these two microphones and I've been testing them for probably 4 months or something because I feel like there's too many reviews of people that have been using this stuff for like a couple of weeks and then they're like, here's my review. And it's like, well, that's not a very good review. Come on, like you got to work with these things for long enough, use them for you to then have an opinion that makes sense, that someone would actually want to follow and rely on. So this is my full review, full versus battle of the Rode Wireless Pro versus the DJI Mic 2. We're going to go and look at these in a few different locations. We've got the hotel, we've got outside, with noise cancellation, without noise cancellation, holding them in front of you, putting them on the lapel area, in the actual home studio, with a smartphone. Oh, so many things, so many places. At the end of the video, you're going to find out what I really think about both of these, who wins the battle and why. I can't wait for you to see this. I'm so excited. Let's do it. Here we are in DaVinci Resolve. Now we're going to go through and I'm going to listen to all these and let's see what I think. And I'll be interested to see what you think as well. So first thing we're going to have a look at is inside the hotel room, and I'm going to switch between the Rode and the DJI, and we're going to see what sort of sounds we can pick up. Let's start with the DJI, and I'm going to play a little bit here. I can get them as far up as I want to, as I need to. The ceiling is concrete, the walls are concrete. So that is definitely creating some bounce in the room. I can hear that, especially when I'm talking at this level, like sound level. If I'm talking softer, like if I start to kind of whisper a bit more, you'll hear less of those reflections because I'm talking quiet. Okay, now I'm going to listen back and I'm going to switch to the Rode Wireless. Patched via the magnetic clips at the back so that I can get them as far up as I want to, as I need to. The ceiling is concrete, the walls are concrete. Switching now. That is definitely creating some bounce, especially when I'm talking at this level, like sound level. If I'm talking softer, like if I start to kind of whisper a bit more, bounce in the room, I can hear that, especially when I'm talking at this level. Like sound. Okay, can you hear that? Put your headphones on. I mean, I've said this already, you need to have your headphones on. Can you hear the difference in the tone there? So they've both got noise cancellation off. So this is completely flat. I've done nothing to this in DaVinci. All I've done is boost the signal to try and get it to be sort of a similar level. The richness in tone in the Rode Wireless versus the DJI to me is much better just in this location. Okay, so it sounds a lot deeper, richer. There's a lot more fullness to my sound. If you hear a little bit more again, we'll just go back. Shirt on that I can button up all the way so that it's not drooping. Also got them attached via the magnetic clips. Oh, via the, I can feel that. Now we're going to go DJI, same thing. Well, because I have a button-up shirt on that I can button up all the way so that it's not drooping. I've also got them attached via the magnetic clips at the back so that I can get them as far up as I want to, as I need to. The DJI has a higher frequency sort of level that it sits at there. It's got picking up a little bit more of those higher tones sort of, but it actually just feels flatter to me. It doesn't have much of that extra depth in the body. In this location, the Rode Wireless Pro definitely wins for me. Absolutely. I would do that over the DJI. Okay, let's have a look at this next clip with the door open, I believe. Okay, let's see. I'm on the DJI at the moment. Glass door here at the apartment, the hotel room that we are in, and it is much noisier out there. We've got the DJI with noise cancellation off. There was quite a lot of noise outside. I will be interested to hear what it sounds like. So again, there is no noise cancellation on at the moment here. This is completely as it is coming in. Okay, let's go back and leave the Rode Wireless in the same situation. Up the giant glass door here at the apartment, the hotel room that we are in, and it is much noisier out there. With the Rode Wireless, with the noise,
it has a lot more of that lower drone because it's actually picking up a lot of those lower end frequencies more so than the DJI does. It actually has more of the like just the hum, the rumble sort of sounds in the Rode Wireless, whereas the DJI, it has more of that like the higher sort of tones, but it doesn't sound as loud. It's not as noticeable because it's not picking up that sort of lower area. You could fix that with the Rode Wireless Pro by a high pass filter, or at least minimize, but then you're rolling off some of the tones as well. But anyway, so let's go back. We're going to listen. I'm going to switch between the two.
Up the giant glass door here at the apartment, the hotel room that we are in, and it is much noisier out there. I will be interested to hear what it sounds like. So again, there is no noise cancellation on at the moment here. This is completely as it is coming in. I might even step outside so that you can hear it even louder.
There's a personal preference, I think, in this situation. I don't like the lower drone, but I do like the extra depth in my voice in this situation. But I feel like DJI, without the noise cancellation even on, has handled the noise better because of the frequencies that it's kind of harnessing there. So in that situation, DJI probably wins. If you're doing no post-production, if you're doing very little, if you don't know what you're doing so much, DJI probably wins there without noise cancellation on because the Rode Wireless is a little bit too meaty. Let's just listen again.
The apartment, the hotel room that we are in, and it is much noisier out there. I will be interested to...
Oh, I'm torn. I like my tone too much with the Rode Wireless Pro, so that's a little bit tricky. Probably has to be the DJI. It probably does. Okay, let's go to the next one. I am holding them in front of my mouth. So let's have a look at what that actually sounds with. We're going to start with the DJI. Yep, starting with the DJI. With a little microphone like this. The purpose is for you to be mobile and for you to have both hands. So this isn't a great use of the microphone, but you can hear that it probably sounds the best in this location. It does sound good in that location. Here I'm trying to fiddling to get it back on.
Fiddly to get back on too, this one, because the
actual little magnet that you're dealing with this one is such a pain in the ass because it's so much smaller that you're trying to like get it and it's really annoying. So I don't like that. But the sound of that one is good. Now let's go and see what's happening next.
It sounds like in front of my mouth like
here
this.
We go.
Hello, hello, hello. I am talking into this microphone right now. The magnet's a lot bigger on this one, so it's actually less easy to lose. All right, so now we have this positioned at the front like this. Talking into this microphone, there is no noise cancellation, there is nothing on.
Oh, it sounds so nice. I sound nice, right? Do you agree? I sound nice.
Pop filters or windscreens or anything on these as well. Testing what it sounds like in front of my mouth like this. Hello, hello, hello.
You can hear the reflections a little bit. But I mean, it's a concrete flipping roof. Like it's a concrete roof. It's doing pretty well regardless of that. Let's go back to the DJI.
Testing the DJI Mic 2. You can see where it is there on my mouth. This is going to be the best place that it sounds.
Okay, now we're going to move to the Rode Wireless.
All right, so now we have this positioned at the front like this. Talking into this microphone, there is no noise cancellation, there is nothing on.
More body.
On the lapels. Testing the DJI Mic.
It's just a bit thinner. It's a bit thin, even in that location, which is definitely the most... like the best place, I guess, to have it. But why are you holding a lapel microphone? Like, it's not really what you're supposed to do with these microphones. They're supposed to be attached to you somewhere. It's the whole point of a lapel. I don't know why I hate that so much, but I just do. I feel like that's not where it's supposed to go. Anyway, Rode Wireless Pro wins again because of the depth. So in that location, the DJI sounded really good. And I think if you only had the DJI, you would not know that the Rode Wireless is a better option in that situation. It still sounds fine, doesn't it? Like the DJI still sounds totally fine. You could still use that. But the Rode Wireless Pro is giving me more depth, me more body. And for my voice, I think it sounds a lot nicer. So now we're doing some poppy filters. They're called wind socks. And we're going to have a little look at those. So let me listen.
We've got these little dot points there. And we've got connection points here. You kind of just put it on and twist.
It's the DJI.
And then it's in place. Okay, so now I'm going to put it on. Okay,
Look how windy it is.
Both wind socks on. You can see it's quite windy, and so it will be interesting to see what kind of reduction in actual wind is happening here on both of these microphones.
Man, that DJI is handling that wind real well. Okay, let's go to the Rode Wireless.
Okay, so this is with both wind socks on. You can see it's quite windy, and so it will be interesting to see what kind of reduction in actual wind is happening here on both of these microphones.
Those wind socks work a treat. Both of those wind socks have worked really well. Honestly, it was really windy that day, and I'm very impressed with how this has handled that. I'm still hearing more drone, more in the Rode Wireless, which is what you expect. So in this location with noise cancellation off, the DJI wins, which I guess makes sense because, you know, DJI, its whole thing really to begin with was that it's for like outdoor use for people that are on the go, for people with cameras, they're vlogging, they're doing activities and adventure sports and stuff. Definitely suits that better. So I'm liking the DJI in this format with the wind socks. Both wind socks are really good. They have minimized almost completely, if not absolutely completely, the wind, and there was a lot of wind that we were struggling with here. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Ooh, noise reduction on. Okay, so Rode Wireless Pro has no noise reduction, so it's a automatic from that perspective, but let's have a listen to how the DJI actually sounds with the noise reduction on. So I'm going to switch it over here.
DJI Mic 2, testing, noise reduction on.
You're not hearing the noise.
Noise reduction on, testing.
But
I'm going to talk a little bit though, because I want you to hear the difference in how I sound. So this is with noise reduction on. How do I sound?
I sound like trash. That's what I sound like. I sound like trash. Let's listen to it without the noise reduction.
Interesting to see what kind of reduction in actual wind is happening here on both of these microphones.
Can you hear my frequencies?
I'm just going to now
hear my frequencies, hear all the juicy things in my voice that it actually sounds like my voice. Now let's hear how robotic I sound with the noise reduction on.
Noise reduction on, testing. I'm going to talk a little bit though, because I want you to hear the difference in how I sound.
This is trash.
So this is with noise reduction on. How do I sound?
You sound bad.
To
you sound bad, Brianna.
Noise reduction is off. Testing, testing. This is me talking.
So it's like it's gating it. It wants to still get my sound in and remove the background noise, but in doing that, it's like gating it. I would totally deal with the fact that I'm getting noise and use it like that instead of using that noise reduction feature, because I think it sounds bad. Maybe they're going to do firmware, maybe they already have, but I'd love you to weigh in on that because I'm not very happy with that. Now we're going to go into the studio. So this is the studio I'm in right now. This is very Inception-y, and we're going to start with the DJI, I think. Okay, now I'm running the test of the DJI Mic 2 in my home studio. This is recorded using just one microphone, not the second one in mono, so that it all comes through to the one channel. So this is me using my smartphone as the audio device, which is cool, and recording at the same time. So we're checking the processing, we're checking whether it sounds different or anything like that. It sounds pretty good. On both ears, left and right, although I'm completely deaf in one ear, so it makes less of a difference to me than others. In fact, stereo is such a pain because stereo is a pain in the ass. I hate stereo because I can't hear it, and it just makes me sad. I also can never tell where any sound comes from because I'm deaf. I'm deaf balls in my other ear. Okay, Rode Wireless Pro. Now I'm testing the Rode Wireless Pro in the home studio that I have here. You can see that it is... Let's test the DJI. With the microphone in a location that is probably what most people would do. I have this positioned on my lapel kind of area. DJI sounds a little bit better in the studio. I have this positioned on my... But you know what? My placement's not exactly the same between the DJI and the Rode. The Rode mic, I'm like down sort of more in the middle here, whereas the DJI, it's in a different spot. So it's not a true comparison, Brianna. You didn't do great on that one. Let me see. It is a pretty clear picture. The iPhone 14 Pro has really good, although I'm completely deaf in one ear, so it makes less of a difference to me than others. In fact, stereo is such a pain. I'm hearing more background reflections with the DJI than I am with the Rode Wireless Pro. So I do sound a bit nicer. I sound a bit crisper with the DJI, but in saying that, in the same breath, I'm saying it's probably too much as far as the way it's picking up too much of the room. Whereas the Rode Wireless Pro doesn't seem to pick up as much of the room.
Is a pretty clear picture. The iPhone 14 Pro.
It is more targeted at me, like as in it sounds more just myself. Those are all the places we tested. Let's go into what my final thoughts are. Before I say anything, what do you think? I want you to tell me in the comments what you think about what you just heard. And you have to be wearing headphones. You can't weigh in on this discussion if you're relying on your laptop or your computer speakers to hear. That's not enough, okay? You're disqualified if that's the way you're weighing in. Make sure you put in the comments what you actually liked about each of those microphones and whether you have either of them. Thanks for doing that. Now let me tell you what I think. Both of these microphones have a use case. If you're going to be outside a lot, if you're going to be some sort of adventure person, if you're going to be vlogging a lot, if you're going to be in loud locations, on the ocean, stuff like that, then I think that the DJI probably wins for those formats. Because of its terrible noise cancellation, I still don't think you should use it, but it probably works best as far as from a frequency point of view to use that device for that location. In saying that, the Rode Wireless Pro gives you more depth. It gives you more feeling of like the actual voice and the full expression of the voice. So if that's important to you and you can do a bit of post-production where you do a high pass filter and you notch out some of those frequencies that are annoying in the Rode Wireless Pro, it just sounds better to my ears and probably to yours as well. It's fuller. The DJI is definitely handling the louder environments better. They both have really good windsocks. So the DJI definitely is a good option for locations where you feel like you don't need to worry about the depth and the richness of the voice so much. You're just trying to get a good signal. Then the DJI is pretty good from that perspective. The DJI comes with two cases. It's a case within a case. And that's kind of good, I suppose, that it's all in the one case and that you don't lose things because they're all together in that one zip case. The actual way that that all looks and functions and the case itself, like the opening up, you can see the microphones there. You can see the way they look. They look kind of cool. The aesthetics on the DJI are quite good and I really like them. That was what drew me to them in the first place. But the magnet clips on the back of those things are so annoying to use. And that is really the only way I would connect them at this point. The magnets are so much better than the clips because the clips, you have to just put them wherever you can. As far as if you have like a shirt with buttons or something, you need to find something to clip it onto. Whereas a magnet, you can just clip it onto your shirt in any location that makes sense. You could put it on a hat. You could put it on, on anything really. That's really quite cool, but the magnet's tiny. It's so small that I found myself like when I would take it off, it's lost. Like it's lost in my shirt. Somehow now it's at my belly button, Whereas the Rode Wireless Pro, it does have a bigger magnet and I do really like that. It's got a more meat to kind of grab onto there and I felt that it was easier to work with from there. The Rode Wireless Pro as well, the other thing that's really good about it is that when you plug it in, you plug it into your computer and you've got your microphones in there and everything's in there, then everything shows up. So you've got all your audio that you've recorded for both microphones. You've got anything that's on the transmitter. You can do it all on the Rode Central app, download that for your desktop. And you can see it all there and you can grab everything off it really easily and find everything. Whereas the DJI at time of recording, it doesn't have that. There's no app, there's no thing that makes it easy for me to grab everything that I want. I have to plug in each individual microphone to the computer to get the audio off of it. There's no settings that I can change in there. It's not like from a user's perspective, I found it much more annoying to actually get off firstly what I want to get off, and I can't change much. I can do it on the little system itself with a little touchscreen, but the touchscreen is kind of, fiddly to get through to all the things that you want to get to. I like personally to be able to go to a computer, get my settings right, see it all there. Maybe that's showing my age. I don't know. I don't want the little device for me to have to select things. I want to see it all there and select what I want and know that it's done. So that to me was another thing that I felt like Rode really developed well, whereas the DJI haven't done that yet. Now DJI might come back and say, look, but our whole thing is that you're on the go. You don't want to be at a computer. Maybe you don't have a computer with you. You need to be able to change the settings on the fly. So again, for that use case, DJI does kind of make sense. You don't need all the computers and all the things. But me personally, I found it kind of annoying. So DJI wasn't the one that I would go to for that. DJI wins for aesthetics. I think it looks nice. Usability, Rode Wireless, definitely. Your magnets are better. The fact that you can plug things in, you can get what you need, you can change settings, you can set it up how you want on an app. That's nice for me. The Rode Wireless Pro has this like 2 case situation, which I guess is kind of good, but also kind of not good. You don't want to lose one of the boxes because one of the boxes has like your lapels and your magnets and your other little bits and pieces in there. So it would be good if there was like a case that then encompassed it all. And I have a huge case that I put everything anyway, so that's not a huge deal for me. But the 2 cases thing was, kind of a bit of an odd choice, I think. Other thing to note is they are very similar price points, but the Rode Wireless Pro actually ships with the actual lapel microphones, like the actual attachments for those. Having the lapel actual wired microphone option for the Rode Wireless out of the box, that's awesome. That's so good. You don't have to buy it separately. Whereas with the DJI, you do have to buy it separately. And so that's that extra point of like, why would I do that? Why would I go down the DJI path and have to then get my lapels separately and have, a little bit more of an annoying system when I could have the Rode Wireless Pro where I have lapels if I need them, where there's more depth, where there's a better usability experience. I think I've just answered my own sort of question here. It has to be the Rode Wireless Pro, even though there are no noise reduction features on the Rode Wireless Pro. I'm not too mad about that because I think that you can manage it in post-production. You're not dealing with the issues that you're dealing with the DJI when it does the noise reduction and you sound like trash. The Rode Wireless Pro wins for me today. This is a big deal. There's probably going to be some controversy around this. There's probably going to be people in the comments being like, yeah, but you haven't thought about this, or what about this? I mean, I welcome that. I love that. If you have a differing opinion, if you think that I've missed something, if I haven't trialed it the way that you think these things should be used for, please, by all means, let me know. I am so open to that. I hope this has helped you make a decision between these two. I know that now there are actually mini versions of the Rode Wireless Pro and the DJI. We've got a Rode Wireless Mini and we've got a DJI Mic Mini. I will do a review of them in due course, but this is the full system, the full review of these 2 microphones. If you like it, hit the like button. If you subscribe, that's lovely. Thank you very much. And if you've enjoyed the content, I think I just farted with my hands. And if you like this kind of stuff, just stick around for some more videos. There'll be some that will be popping up here around me. And I hope you have a wonderful day.